there's a lot of questions, and Glenn's got all the answers. Here's the real reason they indicated Donald Trump. Well, how they denoumented Donald Trump. And I want to know, you want to know, we're all very curious. Why? Why did they really do it? I mean, I know why they did it. I know you think you know why he did it. Of course, because he paid off a porn star money that was to cover the campaign. So it's basically paying campaign money because he was doing it to hide this because it was for the campaign, and that's illegal. But the real reason, obviously, Glenn's going to let us know. This is the real reason. Here it comes. This is the real reason they indicted Donald Trump. Let's see it. And this is Glenn's reaction.
This little simple microphone.
For a simple man. I always thought it was a Dove bar with all the chocolate eaten off.
That sits in front of me.
Well, it's on a stand, but okay.
And has sat in front of me almost every day since I was 13, 14 years old.
Okay, that microphone is 2 years old at best. But I will say that I mentally I think you're 13 or 14, so this might be an emotional thing.
Has been my best friend in ways.
Yes, because it's much easier to live a rhetorical life where you talk at people instead of to them. And real friendships are hard to maintain, but the microphone always listens, doesn't it? And it can never talk back. Feedback, but not talk.
Because you don't understand how important you are in my life.
Are you talking to me or the microphone?
I feel like I know you, and
Again, are you talking to the microphone? You should know. I mean, it came with instructions.
When I meet people, they say, it's like you're my best friend.
Yeah. I'm sure they do, Glenn.
It's like an old friend that we've been together for years.
Yeah, and you get creeped out and go, sorry, I have to get to the car. Scott, excuse me, I'm wanted back on planet Earth, Dwayne.
And you have me at a disadvantage.
Right, you've got real relationships and friendships, and he doesn't, and it's just awkward. Also, you've got him pinned up against a wall, and you're spitting in his ear as you talk close to him, and it's just odd.
Because you know everything.
And I, Glenn Beck, know nothing. I'm just an empty shell of a man with an even emptier head. It's just sad. All I've got is some remnant tortilla chips and a drinking straw I once shoved in my ear in middle school. It's still there. And when the wind blows, I can hear it whistling.
About my life, if you're a longtime listener, you know the names of my children. You remember when I adopted my son. You
remember all the times I've played Misty for you.
Dog's name. And I know nothing about you.
And I know nothing about that. What's my dog's name?
It seems.
It seems. You're just a stranger. I've met some of you multiple times, and I still don't know your fucking... Who are you?
But that's not true.
Oh, so you've been lying to us. Great. Well, fine. Maybe this is why your best friend is a microphone, you asshole.
I know you because I know your values. We're like-minded.
I'm so glad he's sharing.
And honestly, we are just searching.
Hi, hold on one second. One moment, my lady has returned. Give me a second. Hi, beautiful. Love you. It's okay? Sad. Oh, yeah. I got a little bit more. Think about what you want dinner-wise. We'll figure it out. Love you. Got to go back to fart noises over Glenn Beck. It's a pastime. It's a living. Welcome back. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Hello. Hi, how you doing? Summer had to go to a celebration of life for somebody who passed today, so she was at that all day. Basically, just got home, and so wearing black and listening to sad stories of somebody passing and that kind of stuff. It's a tough one. So anyways, we're gonna have a sharing night after I'm all done. Where were we? Oh yes. Glenn Beck was breaking up with his microphone.
For those things that are true, those things that bring happiness, those things that bring meaning,
that have nothing to do with this show.
I've lived a life.
I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway. What's more than this? Excuse me.
Of no meaning.
Shit. Get on with it, man.
I lived a life where I was worshiping the gods of America.
Jesus?
Fortune. Fame.
Yes, America is a cesspool. You're right. I don't know what I was thinking. America and your bullshit Judeo-Christian values. Clearly, Hollywood is America. America is Hollywood. What?
And it was meaningless and empty.
Well, speak for yourself.
And I drank my way through it.
Yes. Giant Dr. Peppers from Sonic. We know it's your insulin resistance is legendary.
My mother, when she died, I was 15 years old. She
Oh, dear God, man.
committed suicide. She was an alcoholic. She was addicted to prescription drugs. In a time when nobody ever talked about that.
This is, how does this, what the fuck does this have to do with why Trump was indicted? I'm very sorry your mother passed that way, Glenn. I'm very sorry that you as a 15-year-old boy went through that. I'm also very sorry that apparently some of the messages you took away from that led you down a path of emptiness and drinking. That's terrible. However, how is that America's fault?
And I hit a place in my life where I was about to do the same thing.
No. No. Shock Jock Glenn, who ended up being on CNN and fucking headline news and having a show and then building a blaze and all that fucking shit. Like, no, I don't buy it. This is a bullshit chapter in a bullshit book, and you are trying to steal. This is stolen sympathy.
And luckily,
Donald Trump saw me on the side of the road and went, "Hey kid, want to get in the car? You look a little down. Maybe, before you do yourself in, you want to give me a blowjob?" Like, what are you talking about?
Quite honestly, too much of a coward to do it. Thank God for cowardice.
What?
At least in that example.
Obviously, it was shit in Saving Private Ryan.
I didn't know how to live. I just knew that death was in front of me. If I continued down this road, it would mean death.
Yes, we've been talking about your diet for a long time, Glenn.
I would either drink myself to death, drug myself to death.
What drugs are we talking about here, dummy?
Or I'd kill myself because there was just nothing in my future.
And then I met Donald Trump.
and I couldn't find happiness. It seemed as though all truth was nothing more than a lie.
Oh, God. Fuck you. Just this performative bullshit. No. Fuck you. You indulged in things because you were rich and you got away with it. It never cost you your fucking job. You always bounced from one place to another because your time was up at some place. You didn't get fired for drinking even when you were fucking drunk. Get the fuck out of here. I almost or kill myself to death. Jesus Christ.
It's amazing how insidious darkness is.
Oh, God. Yes, you're surrounded by it, Glenn. It's you don't even realize that you're a servant to it, and you have been for the better part of 3 decades. And
it's amazing how it can
full of shit you are.
Play on you.
Play on you I'm like the devil's trumpet. Sometimes I feel his fingers on my back and his pucker on my butthole, and all I can do is scream the notes he blows into me. I don't know what to...
It's amazing how distracted you can become.
Yes, with all the, the whores and the drugs and the whores. And also, did I mention the drugs and the whores?
Just looked up at my monitors here in my studio.
Finally. And you went, wow, I could put information or other shit on these. Other broadcasters would love to have this much room to have information around. And instead, I've just got my fucking name up on them or my logo. But thank God I shed the ego that I ran on for so many years. I must have been drunk when I picked these colors. What the shit?
And I see the headlines, Trump facing 30 counts related to business fraud. And they're speaking about it on CNN.
Why are you watching CNN? That's mainstream media. You can't even trust them. It's probably not even true. It's probably he's suing them in 34 different counties.
Trump indictment stuns nation, says Fox News.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I think that was fake news. I wasn't stunned. I just went, oh shit, right on.
Donald Trump indicted, says MSNBC.
Did they? I think it's just written. I mean, you don't have the sound up, do you?
And Senator Warren is on CNBC. We need to hold those failed bank CEOs accountable.
Dude, that's what you were saying. Ask Carol Roth, you dumb son of a bitch. The fuck you talking about? You won't have Glenn to kick around anymore, right? Jesus. Glenn can stun a fly to death. He's at 2x and climbing. Yeah, we are 4.5 minutes into a 12-minute clip that's supposed to be, here's the real reason they indicted Donald Trump. And so far, it's this fucking bullshit story about his miserable road to salvation. If this motherfucker doesn't explain this to me, I'm going to be pissed. And if he turns this into a gold ad, he's going to, Clayton Morris has somebody, I'm just going to have to tell him somebody's gunning for his gig.
Do you remember the movie The Ten Commandments?
Oh, fuck you.
Do you remember they were free? People were free.
Oh, my God. It's true. I can remember it like it was yesterday.
God freed them.
Well, it was a little more complicated. It involved a lot of pestilence and a lot of threats and a stick that turned into a snake and some shit.
And then the minute they were at the Red Sea, you remember Edward G. Robinson? And he's like, yeah, see, I told you, this was bad, see?
Okay, no, he didn't. Edward G. Robinson did not do his gangster read. That is a joke from Billy Crystal's A Comics line. And this motherfucker thinks he saw it. That where's your Moses now? See, where's your Messiah now? That's a joke from Billy Crystal, A Comics line. which is a great fucking special. As a matter of fact, hold on 1 second. God damn it. It's going to be I don't need these kind of side notes in my life, but hold on. Billy Crystal, a comics line. There we go. Billy Crystal and I'm a comedian. Where is this? Sorry, where's the... I knew that you could, yeah. Where is it? Where's the whole thing? It's on here somewhere, you son of a bitch. Hold on. Let's see. Edward G. Robinson. He'll that bit should be.
Hitler gave out these little buttons, the Golden Party Badge. Blum's was, I believe, number 6. His son, I tracked down.
Real quick, did you hear what Elon Musk said on the...
I don't care what...
Where's the Messiah now? Yeah, where's your Moses now, see? Let my people go now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Where's the Messiah now?
That's from Billy Crystal's A Comics line. Hold on. The let's see. There you go. Muhammad Ali. Let's see. Moses.
Edward G. Robinson, to me, was an enormous influence. I just loved the guy. First of all, he looked like all my relatives. And second of all, he had that voice that was different, see? He was a tough little guy, see? And you can name any movie, and he's great. Whether it's Is This the End of Rico? Is that, or Double Indemnity, or when he's following Orson Welles as the war criminal hiding out in the college, you know, and he has to track him down. Edward G. Robinson is a tremendous hero, right down to some of his later roles, like in The Cincinnati Kid, which is a very good movie, and he plays the card shark, and he wins at the end, and somehow the audience didn't think he was going to win because Steve McQueen was who he was playing against, and you don't beat Steve McQueen. And he has this great line at the end. And he says, "You're good, kid, but you're only second best as long as I'm around." And he just hits him in those eyes, and he leaves, and it's pretty great. It's pretty great.
So that Billy Crystal would do Edward G. Robinson stuff all the time. And that line, you just fucking heard it. You just fucking heard it. That picture of Edward G. Robinson going, "Where's your Moses now, see? Where's your Messiah now?" That's Billy Crystal's fucking bit. And Glenn Beck is remembering Billy Crystal's bit as if it's reality or straight up stealing it. I actually think he's forgotten where he heard it. He's just stolen someone else's joke. And fuck that dude. Ugh. This shit.
He's like, "Yeah, see, I told you this was bad, see? Where's your Moses now?"
Right. Just fucking rips off the Billy Crystal bit. Yeah, Beck and Dorr should tour together.
Oh.
And he does it a couple of times, I bet. Like he's going to get hung up on it.
And he immediately stands up and says, "See, this guy led you to death." And Moses, I can't even begin to understand. I mean, Charlton Heston said, "Behold the hand of God." That's not really what happened. He didn't stand there on that cliff. He went down to the water, had to walk into the water first.
Yeah, I hate it when they get the origin story all fucked up in a Marvel movie. Don't get me started on Green Lantern. And again, what the fuck?
His back was up against a wall.
There was no wall. There was no wall in the Bible. I've read that story. I mean, they may have made, taken creative license with him not walking down into the water, god damn it. But there was no wall.
He had to take the step and stand in the water.
He had to stand in the water.
And while the people were condemning him, God moved because of his faith. And then as soon as they get across the water, he goes up to the mountain and he gets the 10 Commandments. I mean,
there were 15. There were 15. Wait, 10.
I mean, it took, 40 days? And they were like, oh, we've got to have orgies and we have to build a golden calf.
No, the 40 days, the wandering happened after the, all right.
Good. God.
And by the way, they've been through a lot. You escape the pharaohs. It's very stressful. You've already seen one miracle. That's going to make you horny.
Edward G. Robinson, I'll be your leader, Shay.
And by the way, what the fuck is with the dead air on this one?
They worshiped the things their hands had made. How many of us are worshiping the things our hands have made?
I don't know. I was going to take a pottery class years ago, and I just felt like, how many ashtrays and salad bowls do you fucking need? I'm not going to make anything, obviously. And I have a 3D printer. Does that count? I mean, I could just, the mouse, I did shape things, and there was my hands typed things. Is that, no?
How many of us?
You don't make anything with your hands, asshole.
Are looking at our phone all the time.
You didn't make your phone? What?
Technology has now become our god.
The fuck? You're one of these assholes who is like, the telegraph will be the end of humanity. People are speaking in tongues. They are translating the words of God and man, the English language, into and sending it far, far away, speaking to people they would never see. It is against the will of the Lord. You do realize people are communicating with their phones a lot of times, or reading the news. Was the newspaper superseding the Bible? Is that the argument we're gonna fucking have?
Money has become our god.
Oh, thanks. By the way, I just got a cash app. Thanks, Coretta and Marcia. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. And Tracy, thank you so much. Todd, thank you as well. And Carrie, Vincent, sorry, while we're all worshiping, welcome to the Church of Cash App, I guess. Thanks very much. Praise be the almighty dollar. You do realize it isn't the dollars, it's what you plan on doing with them. Are you really worshiping money if you're saving it for your kids' education? Are you really worshiping money if you're making sure your car is paid for and you can get where you need to go so you can get to work and relative comfort on the regular so that you're your best when you arrive there, and then doing your job for a very long time so you can save up some money and eat a little bit better and take it? Is that worship of money, asshole? Or maybe you're just talking about you. And also, you do realize CPAC has a golden fucking statue of Trump that looks like Big Boy, and everybody kisses it. Marge Green grabs its crotch. The fuck are you? How are you laying this off on us? Again, why is America somehow guilty of your pathetic, self-involved sins? Maybe these kind of like the sloth and avarice and greed and all the negative, the 7 deadly sins and the sort of negative characteristics of man might just be, and call me crazy, might just be a part of all human culture, and everybody is trying to struggle their way out of, out of acquiescing to it as much as they possibly can. And that there are some among us who think that their failures are everyone's failures because they can only project this outward because they're assholes. Scared himself with a fart.
I'm here in Dallas in soundproof studios, and I just heard the thunder outside.
I always thought they were in Colorado or Utah. Didn't he move to Utah to become a Mormon? I guess they moved their whole setup to Texas. I hope you have a backup generator, asshole.
How appropriate.
How appropriate. Yes, because you are sinning and taking the Lord's name in vain and using Bible verses to cover your own fucking shortcomings. Yeah, I think if your belief system has room for thunder and lightning when that happens, I think this would be a perfect time. Also, Thor thinks you're a dick.
Today is a turning point. Today, this microphone in front of me
is no longer my friend. Seriously, we're 7 minutes and 51 seconds into a video called "Here's the Real Reason They Indicted Donald Trump." Fuck you. How he's blithering about Easter and Passover movies from Christian channel programming. I don't doubt it. Yes, he's been rewatching those things because he thinks he doesn't have to go to church if he watches the 10 Commandments. Guaranteed.
A device that I've had in front of me for almost 50 years.
So me too, asshole. As a stand-up. What do you think, you've earned it? You don't think you have to earn it every goddamn day? I should be able to phone this job in, but every day it gets more challenging and I know less than I knew yesterday.
Is unforgiving.
Yes, when your head is empty, a microphone is a very scary thing. Get on with it.
There's a lot inside of me today.
Yes, we've heard it coming out. Then why is it so sparse? Fucking hell. Raul's mom says Moses was president of the NRA. Like, you can take this... The Jews, when you pry them out of my cold... No, sorry. You blew it up! No, fuck. What's my line? He's just yammering.
And I am no different than you.
Fuck you. Yeah, you're very different than me. Sorry. I got a job to do here, asshole. I'm not in my coasting phase yet. I'm trying to entertain and educate, and you're just, like, you seem to think that this, like, false moralization and this goddamn pity party is somehow related. Your own self-involved hedonistic horseshit has anything to do with Donald Trump paying off a fucking porn star, and the reality is you're just filling time because you don't want to bring up why he's being indicted. What he did to end up being indicted. That's all this is about. As dramatic and as fucking garment-wrenching bullshit as this is, it's really all about how do I talk about this without actually saying he paid off a porn star.
I've had enough.
He's quitting. Yay! You know what? The video was worth it. The video was worth it. The video was worth it. It's all good. He's sick. He's done. That's it. It's over. The blaze is shutting down. He's done. It's had too much of it. He's had this stupid microphone in front of him for so long, and he got tricked after all these years to being a dickhead for Donald Trump, and he's done, and that's it, and it's over, and he's through, and forget it.
Had
right?
enough.
So you've said, please get to the phase where you do something about it. Quit. Go ahead, quit.
You know, I don't know about you, but I've been watching.
You're right. You do not know about
this slow motion car wreck.
But enough about your show, Glenn.
Train.
That's what this, you mean this whole fucking video? God damn. Yes, you're a slow moving car wreck today. But here's the funny thing, Glenn. It's not a head-on collision. It's just you asleep at the wheel, rolling off onto the sidewalk and hitting a telephone pole at about 8 miles an hour. While everybody goes, what the fuck's wrong with that dude? That's hilarious. Anyways, ice cream?
Headed towards us for 20 years.
Well, then it's your ass if you didn't get out of the way. I'm sorry. If it's 10 years, I understand how it could catch you off guard. But if you've been watching a slow-motion car wreck for 20 years and you weren't able to get out of the way, I blame you. Thank you, Bonnie.
We've been crossing the Atlantic in very slow motion. And
in a car? Well, the wrecks, the least of your worries. I would be concerned with sinking myself. Hey, asshole, try to keep one analogy at a time. We know you're not a professional broadcaster. We know you've been doing this for a long time and you've never gotten better at it. But it would help if this car that you imaginary car that you put us all in, it wasn't in the middle of the Atlantic. Now, I don't know what you're talking about.
And the engines were on full speed, and the captain at night is like, keep those engines going. Let's make record time.
And somebody went, sir, this is a Pinto.
We can do it.
And you're like, it's not even a seafaring vehicle. You're not a captain. You're my Uber passenger. I don't know why I took this fare.
And when the ship was in port, it was on fire. There was a coal fire.
Then why did you leave in the... Well, if it's a coal-firing engine, then it's kind of necessary. I don't know if you're going to... Oh, is this a rowboat now? I'm totally lost.
Down at the furnaces, and it wasn't in the furnace. It was the coal pile that was on fire.
Oh, so it's a Russian ship. Okay, good. All right, so you're on the Moskva. All right, back up. This is... What? How did this get where we are? What is happening? I don't know what's happening. What? Wait, all right. How did this start out with you? Can we go back to where you were a drunk and try another run at this? What, were you the drunk captain of the car? Are you imagining Risky Business where the guy said, who's the U-boat commander? And it was a car, but it crashed into Lake Michigan. Fucking hell.
Well, then burn it up fast.
Maybe that guy isn't the captain after all. I don't think he knows much about boats, actually. I think that will burn it up fast. Like, we could put the fire out. No. When you're going through hell, keep going. I don't think that's what... Just throw more coal down there.
We can make it. This ship is unsinkable.
Oh, now it's the Titanic. And your case is the Titanic was on fire before it left. And nobody smelled anything. All right, well, they were all dressed very fancy and nobody showered back then. This is so fucking stupid. I don't even know. What? This is almost over. What the fuck are you talking about? This is amazing. I'm sorry, I can't keep up. Gut instinct. 50 years of a microphone. One day I hope to have skills this good, to be this accidentally entertaining to so few people.
And I've had 20 years to count the lifeboats.
What? Are we still at port on fire? Or are we in the middle of the Atlantic full steam ahead with an engine that has no coal to burn because it burned up because the...
I've had 20 years telling people, hey, maybe you shouldn't be playing shuffleboard right now.
Maybe you should have told the captain. I don't...
There's trouble. Anybody want to send a Western Union telegraph, maybe early?
Well, yeah, it would have been a great idea when you were still at port and the entire boat was on fire. What the fuck?
When all the other ships have their telegraphs on?
I'm not letting go of the fact that this started out as a car. Hey, the drunk is on deck again telling us the ship's on fire and we shouldn't be playing shuffleboard, Captain. I'm not playing shuffleboard. We haven't even launched yet. What the fuck is he talking about? The engines are off. What's he smelling? That's the kitchens. And by the way, don't you dare cut away to anybody else in this fucking studio and have Stu sitting there listening to this shit for 10 minutes. We are
at the iceberg, and
we're at the iceberg. Oh, good. Well, at least we haven't hit it yet. So we're just we obviously we're going a lot slower when we hit it this time because we ran out of fuel a long time ago.
The reason why this is happening to Donald Trump is because they need you.
Here it comes. We're finally going to get the reason for this video. The reason this is happening to Donald Trump is because they need us.
They need you.
To what?
To riot. To burn, to shoot, to target.
On the iceberg or on the boat or in the car?
They need that.
No, we really don't. I don't know. We didn't need it on January 6th. We sure as fuck don't need it now. As a matter of fact, as a duly designated spokesman for what you would refer to as the left, I would argue that my side would much rather that Trump show up, get indicted, and nobody show up. I would much rather have that happen. I would much rather Trumpies just don't fucking bother, and he's just let down by how no one gave a shit. That, honest to God, that's genuine. And I think, by the way, most people, if you ask, what do you want to have happen when he goes, I would much rather nobody fucking show up for this asshole. No one.
Because everything is about to collapse, and it can't be blamed on them.
I'm sorry. What's about to collapse? The iceberg, or the boat, or the car, or your sobriety, or...
Because they're the ones who are going to say to the rest of the world, see, this is what happens. This is what happens when you let free people be free.
Yeah. Is that free to what? What? Huh? Honest to God. Freedom is not rioting and murder and burning shit down. I wasn't for it when Antifa does it or BLM does it. I'm for peaceful protest. Always have been. And the idea that they're only indicting Trump, the reason that they're indicting Trump, and this is what he's finally getting to, the reason Trump is being indicted is because the country is collapsing and they need cover. And so they're going to drive his followers to burn Wall Street to the ground or some shit to hide the fact that the economy, which is doing better than most of the economies in the world and definitely has its challenges, but is improving greatly, is actually teetering on the brink, and the the Dow's going to collapse and the banks are going away and whatever the fuck.
That's why we've got to put a lid on it.
A lid on what? New York? I don't know. You can't trap that kind of a smell for long. It just makes it worse.
Instead of the rest of the world looking at the elites, all those with answers. And
the elites, all those with answers. Well, so we know you're not talking about you, Glenn. All right. So when he says elites, he doesn't mean him, because apparently those people have answers.
Say, look what you have done.
Huh? I swear to God. Like, yeah. Wait, so Glenn's not quitting? I don't know. I think I'm still holding out hope that he might actually be there. I think now I don't know if it's the elites are chastising America. Is that?
You have collapsed our economy.
Oh, I see. So they think that Trumpsters rioting when Trump gets arrested in New York City will give the Fed cover for any economic turmoil that is right around the corner. Because nothing's more damaging to the economy than 65 maggots getting mad.
You and your expert advice have devalued the dollar. You and your experts have taken the...
Devalued the dollar? Wait a minute. Hold on. He's not still... Hold on. Let me try to find the current U.S. dollar index. Yep, there it is. Totally devalued. $1 is now worth... This is terrible. How could you do this, Joe Biden? Thanks, Dark Brandon. The dollar is now worth... Holy shit. It's worth $1 What happened? Stop devaluing the dollar by making it worth more. Honestly. Really? 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 Yeah, you think this is a gold cell? You think this is going to end up... Fuck, if he ringers this and jumps into Clayton Morris territory...
Greatest nation to ever bless the earth and flush it down the toilet, we are no longer a superpower.
Yeah, we are. We're still a superpower. We're really the only superpower. Yeah, we're the singular superpower. Like, China wants to be a superpower, but none of their ships will go more than 500 miles offshore, so they can't project power throughout the world. It's one of the reasons why they're trying to build bases in Africa and Saudi Arabia and other places, but they haven't done it yet, so we'll see eventually. And, of course, none of Russia's long-range bombers work anymore, and China doesn't have any, so... Yeah, we're still a superpower. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we're almost singularly why, on a material level, why Ukraine, besides their fighting force and their people, why they materially have the ability to fight Russia, which is allegedly the second biggest military in the world, China being third, and a distant one at that. And by the way, why is he mad? What the fuck? Why is he... First of all, the dollar isn't devalued. And secondly, we are still a superpower. Like, by far the world's largest superpower. We could cut our military in half and still be 3 times the military expenditure and capability of the entire world's top 10 other countries combined. And by the way, Glenn, just because you got mad for a second doesn't mean what you're saying is true. You just realized in a moment you were being boring.
And they need you for cover.
No, we really don't. Honest to God, we don't need anything from maggots. Seriously, nothing. Zero contribution. I'm good. I mean, I don't think... What are you going to do? What do we need you to do? Patch holes in the budget.
Pray for your country like you've never prayed before.
You mean don't do it in English, or pray like you've never prayed before? Well, I've never done it while masturbating. That's not what I meant. All right, well, you really haven't? No, I really haven't. You should try it. It's a good time. It's more like, you know, it's more like a Grant Morrison magic trick, but still.
Pray that every single American that sits behind one of these today.
What? Every person with a microphone. You mean me, Glenn? Why? Oh, no, he didn't mean me. He knows I stand. Son of a bitch. How did I not see that coming? Fuck. Wait a minute. I have a stool. Don't worry about it, Dave. I've got an angle.
Understands the gravity.
Well, of course I understand gravity. That's why I'm sitting. As a matter of fact, that's why I was standing. God damn it, he tricked me. I was standing because standing, you're fighting gravity, and it's you're getting more exercise. You're moving around, you know. I'm doing this show fucking 10 hours of streaming minimum a week. Minimum. Take it back. 18 hours on my feet doing this show minimum every week. And that's not the 10 minutes before and the 10 minutes afterwards and any other work that I'm doing on the setup. Every week, 18 hours, standing desk, performing like this, moving around, doing my thing. So, yeah, I'm fighting gravity that entire time because it's better for me than sitting the whole fucking time. Maybe. Pray on your fucking feet like a samurai.
Of their words.
Of their words and their deeds and their doodads.
Lord, may you humble all of us.
Yeah, dude, I don't think you have to pray for that one. Pretty easy. That is, if you really want an example of an ego prayer, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may.
In these days.
In these days. The days of old. There comes a time when gold loses its luster, where the gems cease to sparkle, and all that matters is a father's love for his child. Such arrogance, such insolence.
I'd prefer, kind of a gentle reminder, but if it takes...
No, I think you're going to be humbled, dum-dum.
Behold the hand of God. We will take that as well.
Yeah, I guess so. If I got to get slapped upside the kisser by the Lord for being a total fraud, by supporting someone like Donald Trump, and I keep getting my ass handed to me and ignoring the lesson from the Lord every fucking time it happens, maybe, just maybe, I'm selling my faith instead of living it. Right, Glenn? Maybe, just maybe, you keep refusing the wake-up call. Maybe you keep snoozing the alarm, you dumb son of a bitch. I don't want to get pious about this, but at a certain point after 20 years of a slow-motion car wreck, Titanic boat fucking stuff, whatever, maybe it's you, asshole. It's kind of like in No Country for Old Men. Maybe, just maybe, whatever your path was, whatever your choices were, they led you to this moment, and you have to question whether those choices were right or not. Maybe the pain you're feeling and the mistakes that you're going through right now are the result of the choices you made. And if those got you there, how can those have been good choices? I mean, I'm not saying that I hope anybody's path ends with one of those, like, cattle annihilator piston things in the forehead at all. And I hope no lunatic shows up and makes you flip a coin to decide whether you're going to live or die on any particular date. However, the analogy is apt. Maybe your pious bullshit is why you're miserable. Just saying. To everybody else, I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow